Your belief is not peace. Your belief is not gonna be alright. Your belief is not peace. Your belief is not gonna.
Hello, hi everyone. It's so nice to see you all again at Twin Talk by MetaWorldX, and I hope everyone's doing great. We have an amazing guest today to talk about the smart city space and digital twins, and our guest is joining us all the way from beautiful Oman. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Miss Laila AL Hadhrami and allow her to do a nice introduction.
Thank you so much, Raza. And finally, I have the opportunity to see you at least virtually, although we have met, let me say, 2 years ago. And I have to say first, before speaking about myself, that I'm so much happy and proud about your progress in digital twins. You are the one, to be honest, who inspire me always to see the progress in digital twins because you are in the field. You are the one who are pushing all the project in digital twins. So it's really a great opportunity to be part of this, let me say, journey with you today. So we can speak about our passion. This is what has gathered me and with us to be together today talking. And to talk about, let me say, digital twins or smart cities. Let me first take you back to 2006. I don't know how old are you there, but I'm still not that much old. But 2006, at that time, I started my career life and I was so much passionate to do my, let me say, continue with my higher studies. To be like a new employee, it's difficult to leave your job. So, and I was insisting that I need to do my higher education because I started my career as coordinator. I was feeling so much bored and I need to learn, I need to test so many things. And finally, I don't know how I really found that announcement that I can do my master degree online. And the good coincidence that I was actually working in a department, it was in College of Education, Sultan Qaboos University. Sultan Qaboos University is the same university that I graduated from. So my bachelor degree was English literature, and then I started working in information technology department. So it was instructional technology department because it was mostly for the, let me say, students who are going to be teachers in IT. And part of these courses, it was about online learning and blended learning. I became very curious about that. I said, they are teaching the students about blended learning and online learning. So why not me as Layla? I can apply for global university and studying online while I'm here having my own job. So I did it. At the beginning, I got a lot of resistance. Everyone was telling me this is not good for you, you are not going to learn. And I heard a lot, to be honest with you. So many people, they decided to disappoint me because at that time, to say to study online as you are having a crime, this is not accepted. Yeah. So imagine this is in 2006 when we speak about the online learning, not
Yep.
during the COVID-19. So we'll come back for that one. So as soon as my dad at that time, he supported me a lot and he said, don't listen to the others. Because my dad, he also, let me say, did his higher education by, let me say, at that time they call it correspondence education, where he applied to a university and he's sending his assignments and projects by mail. So you can see the evolution of education, how it was exactly. So as soon as I applied in my university, and I applied also for the specialization online learning. Why? Because everyone was telling me this is not good for you. So I said, I'm going to prove it. It's going to be a good one. So I experienced myself as online learning and also specialized in online learning. And my story with the metaverse started from there because part of my education it was inside the virtual worlds. At that time, one of the popular, let me say, platforms, it was Second Life. I don't know if you I don't know if you know
Yeah.
Second Life, Resign. I'm sure you know all of the virtual worlds. At that time, it was like the top virtual world. And we have a lot of, let me say, educational communities inside a virtual world. I enjoy it, to be honest with you, because I used to sleep. I'm sorry for saying that. I'm revealing some of my secrets during my classes. I used to sleep a lot in the class because I was feeling bored because, there's
Yeah.
chapters, and sometimes you go late and so on. To experience the virtual, learning, it was amazing. So I experienced both the online learning and the virtual learning. Nowadays, we call it metaverse, and I will come back for the metaverse. So when we started, so with the online learning, I can access, let me say, the platforms anytime, anywhere. And I love that, anytime, anywhere, because I was traveling at that time and I was having my laptop and just submitting my assignment. I really enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. And when I started experiencing the virtual, it was the first time for me to have my own avatar. So I access with my own avatar. So this is Layla. I have my own avatar inside the platform. And I was walking and flying and talking and chatting with different people in this
Now,
platform.
Leila, were these
That
people
was
all
allowing.
from all over the world, or like where were they?
Yes, it was from everywhere around the world. So I was meeting, and at that time, and when I say at that time, it was not, let me say, developed, or let me say more professional as it is today, because I have my avatar. Today, the avatars, even when we speak about the avatars, there's evolution in the avatars. Today, we have avatars by AI. You can have the same features of you, your clothes, and so on. At that time, you have to have the same, let me say, what is there exactly. You have to wear something different. There was no hijab. So I have to be without hijab. So what I really, I'm so much happy about it. We have witnessed the evolution of technology from 2006 till today. So that is how I really started with the technology. And I am, as a Layla, I was able to obtain my higher degree through the online learning and the virtual platforms, what we call it today, the metaverse. Why we call it metaverse today? I'm sure you know, right, Riza? So the metaverse, as soon as the COVID-19 started, everyone started talking about metaverse, metaverse. And I was saying, oh, wow, metaverse, okay. So why they started to say metaverse, not virtual worlds? Because
Mm.
the technology is old. And I was telling everyone the technology was there a long time ago.
Yeah, you've already
It
experienced
hasn't
it for
started.
a decade before. Yeah.
Exactly. It hasn't started in 2021. It's not Meta who started the metaverse,
Mm.
because metaverse started a long time ago, and we have a lot of virtual platforms. And most of these virtual platforms, it is inside the house of every, let me say, parents in this world. So make sure your kids, which platform are using. So in 2021, because of COVID-19, we have two categories of people. One category, they went to the online platforms, and the other category, they went to the virtual platforms. So that's what I'm really trying to tell everyone about the online learning and the virtual platforms. The people who are in the virtual platforms, they succeed a lot because because most of the people, they were at home getting bored. So they did a lot of business through the virtual platforms. They started doing shopping. They started, let me say, buying and selling lands. And when they ask me about buying and selling lands, I say it's almost the same like when you go and buy a domain for yourself. So you book something, you build on it, and then you can rent it for the others. It's you who decide how you're going to build that land for you, or let me say, the plot. So as soon as they started talking about the metaverse, and it's also the metaverse, it was mentioned in a book in 1992,
Mm.
and from there, the virtual platforms, it got that, let me say, the new branding, the metaverse. Meta decided, or let me say, Facebook, they saw everyone was getting successful during COVID-19 and said, oh my goodness, they will take the revenue from us. They will take, let me say, the fame, let me say, the red carpet from us. So Meta or Facebook decided to do the branding. So they decided to change their name to Meta. As soon as they decided, everyone, unfortunately, till today, people, they think that the metaverse is
You're right.
founded by Meta.
Mm-mm.
And Meta, they built their own, let me say, platform, which was called Horizon World. So we have a lot, we have thousands of platforms, and we already have one of the successful platforms is by Reza and his team, that you can talk about it later on to the audience, I'm sure. So as soon as they couldn't succeed with there because they already have so many people, let me say, great competitors for them. They have, let me say, announced something about metaverse, and they say, "Rest in peace, metaverse."
Yeah,
I still remember,
I
as soon
remember that,
as
Layla.
they
Yeah,
when they published that, everyone was thinking, "Oh, metaverse is failing. Metaverse is no more there." And I say, "No, metaverse is there long time, and we are experiencing the evolution of
right.
metaverse." So this is, let me say, brief how my story started. Let me say with the metaverse as part of my career and learning life.
You know what I love? So every time, obviously, Layla is now a household name for us here, and in Canada, we've been watching your growth. We've been seeing how you've been, especially making an impact in a region where, for the longest time, a lot of us in the West, we thought, okay, like we didn't see women at the reaching the levels that we see here in the West, but Layla has been breaking those barriers. And I think the beauty of your evolution, especially in the space, starts with how you had a personal exposure, how you had a personal experience with the metaverse, and how you connected it to now to smart cities. So I would love to hear more and learn more about how you saw these opportunities and you started working on creating that bridge, not just taking the metaverse and understanding how it could benefit smart cities, but elevating women and younger girls in the next generation and empowering them to be able to see a future in this space that's a new and upcoming space, but also it's been so dominated by men for so long. So I want to know more about that connection and how this journey of self-empowerment and empowerment for our girls, the next generation, has been.
You just remind me, Riza, with something happened to me in 2003. I was in London, and at that time, I was going there, like, I think almost like 2 months, staying there the summer vacation, and I enjoyed. And at that time, I was still in my last year in the college. So I was just going for vacation in London, and it was the first time for me to be in London. And I enjoyed going to Hyde Park. And in Hyde Park, there were a lot of, let me say, of people who will just go there and speak about different topics and cases. One of these topics was attacking the Muslim woman. They said women in Islam, they don't have the freedom to learn, don't have justice. I wanted to express myself, but I couldn't. And I said, no, Alhamdulillah, I'm a Muslim, I'm Arab woman. We are, Alhamdulillah, empowered because the Islam, has empowered women, Alhamdulillah. And we are even empowered with education, with our rights. We are treated as queen. So I took it as a concept, as a mission for me, that I will continue my journey to represent, the Muslim woman, that we are successful, that we can be successful in anywhere, in any time. So I started to take that dream that I will also use the technology to empower me. That's why when I decided to take, let me say, my higher education, online learning, and when we started having the smart mobiles, it became more powerful for us. So today, when I'm meeting someone and they started complaining, and I said, you don't have excuse. You can learn by using the smart mobile. You can waste your time or you can use it to empower yourself. So I'm telling everyone, we are all empowered, alhamdulillah. We have the technology in our
Wow.
hands. And one of the, let me say, my mom, she's like the inspiring role model for me because I still remember, when the evolution of the smart mobiles started, the old people, they started to resist the smartphones. They said, now we are happy with the telephone line. We don't want to use these smart mobiles. And I still remember, my brother one day he came and he said, Mom, I bought you a smart mobile with the number. and here it is. She started, exploring that Dubai. And as soon as she started, she was asking me, can you please open for me Google? I need to search for something. Can you please search for me in YouTube? I need to YouTube something because she loves to learn. So, and I said, Mama, you know how to, because my mom, she did not continue her studies, but she knows how to read and write. And I said, Mom, you can write, so type by yourself.
Yeah.
Here's the application in front of you.
Oh my God.
Today, my mom, she's using her mobile to do so many things. She even, she has
She's
Instagram,
empowered.
she has, yes, and she learned how to do, for example, organic oils, She know
Wow.
how to, exactly, yeah. And she also, and it was amazing because she was watching different videos from, for
Yeah.
example, even, the olive pickles, because in Oman it's not popular, the olive pickles, but we have grown some trees. So now we have some olive. She decided to learn how to do the pickles. And she said, she have seen a lot of videos, and I think she's the first Omani to know how to make the olive pickles. And it was
Oh
amazing,
my God.
She's just using, and it's all about this. She just
Yeah.
used the technology to learn, continue learning. So I'm telling every woman, you don't have excuse today. And why I'm insisting, and why I'm very much passionate about the metaverse, because where there's no infrastructure, where there's no schools, no education institutions, we can empower people who are not having the opportunity to go to a school, to a university, by applying through the metaverse. And I wish that we're going to have a lot of schools, virtual universities, because empowering people through the educations mean empowering the community to build sustainable smart cities. And this is my dream, to be honest with you, Riza, is to have the world equal for everyone. Because we have around maybe the last statistics that I have read from the United Nations about the kids around the world who are not having access to education is very huge. Is around something 400 billion. So the number is very huge. So if we are able just to provide for them education through the metaverse, we're going to build equal life for everyone in this world. So this is how we can use the beauty of technology in empowering every citizen around the world.
I love it. So, it's the passion behind it. It reminds me of why I'm in this space as well, because growing up over here, I saw a lot of problems with infrastructure, with poverty, with crime in our cities.
Yeah.
And I felt that in order for us to have more sustainable and more livable cities, we need to create applications and technologies that make us
True.
proactive
Yes.
rather than reactive. But now when it comes to, and I love how beautifully you've realized that empowerment and fulfillment, it rests upon us looking at the collective growth of each other. And this is why it's so important to use this energy and these learned lessons for the good of our society. And it starts with sustainable growth and thinking about smart cities. And my concept of smart cities is very
Yes.
similar to yours, and that's why I'm so passionate about the direction of where we can take this if we do it right. Now, in terms of what are some obstacles or threats that you see to the smart city space? Because even in the West, some
Yes.
people are still not
Yes.
comfortable with it. And where do you see it going? And how can we avoid going down that direction and hopefully bring it back to a
Yes.
positive direction?
Till today, even here in the Middle East, even here in Oman, they say we don't want, for example, the metaverse. We don't want these new technologies. We prefer the physical one. And I'm telling them we don't want another
Oof.
COVID-19
Yeah.
to hit us again. So you have to be, because, recently, for example, in Oman, we have a lot of, uh, let me say, bad weather causing some floods. And we have lost lives of some students. So I was telling them, if you are predicting that the weather is not going to be good, we should just be off on that day and have virtual platforms. And why I'm saying the virtual platforms, the metaverse platforms, not the online platforms, because the new generations, they don't like the online platforms.
Mm.
Our generations, we enjoy the online, platforms, but the new generations, they enjoy mostly learning in the metaverse, space.
Mm,
So we have to prepare them. It's not about us. It's about the future generation. They are the ones that we should, build these technologies for them. So
yes.
don't assume that the technology is bad. You are the one who is not using it properly, but all of them. Most of the kids are using these technologies in gaming, and they learn a lot from these platforms. So we have to improve the education and also save the lives. It's also about improving the education for all the new generations. We have to stop thinking about ourselves. It's about the new generations, how we are going to improve the life for them so they can be able to build the future cities for them and also for us, because we need to have improved services to have it mostly in, let me say, automated, smart, in smart cities, and so on.
So we, so
So this is, why I think.
I completely agree with you. Absolutely. We have to think about them, empower them because they are using a lot of these solutions and technologies for gaming. You're 100% right. So let's think about the floods that recently happened in the region. It affected UAE and affected Oman very, very
Yes.
deeply. How do you see, students leveraging these technologies, especially in the smart city space, in order to be able to avoid these kind of catastrophes or at least avoid loss of life from a
Exactly.
metaverse digital twin smart cities perspective?
For me, I'm always, as you know, I got specialized in online learning and blended learning, and they started talking about blended learning after COVID-19. I'm telling everyone that we should have blended learning. Recently, I was visiting my sister in Thailand, and my niece, she came to me and she was showing me a watch that she built it by herself. She built it using the 3D printing.
Wow.
And I was saying, oh, she's using 3D printing in her school. And people are still saying that technology is not good for. No, it's become, let me say, students are becoming more smarter and they are, let me say, having more advanced projects. It's no more like before, they give us assignment, go and write and repeat the same words. Because, my niece is in grade fifth.
Wow.
And I was shocked. Rather, I never used the 3D printing. She know how to use the 3D printing. So honestly, I
She's been
felt
watching.
so I think, oh my, so the new generation, they are so much,
Yeah.
passionate about, the new technologies, and they know how to use it. And she was saying, I might, collect, and she was telling me, Auntie, I love the 3D printing class. I might collect my, my next income so I can buy my own 3D printing.
Wow.
See, the next new generations
Yep.
are buying these technologies so they can enjoy playing and
At the same
learning
time.
from it. So we have to blend it. So we have to blend
Mm.
it. Let me say the education. So the education has to be blended with physical and technology. And technology can be very beautiful if you blend it with the physical activities. So I will definitely go with that one so we can make the learning cycle for the kids much, let me say, good for them rather than, let me say, the boring physical
You're right.
what they used to have it.
Because studies have shown, especially in countries in the Scandinavian countries like Finland, they're doing a great job in this kind of blended learning where a lot of the
Yeah.
portion of the day is spent outside. And a lot of homeschooling here, even in North America, there's different school systems like Waldorf, for example. They promote educating students by allowing them to do physical activities. Do you see a rise of this, right now, especially in the Middle East?
Yes, I have seen, as I said, when I mentioned, the example of my sister recently, some colleges here in Oman, I
Mm.
was talking to them about the metaverse, and they said, we already working in some metaverse programs. I said, wow, really? So because the students, as I said, they know how to use these, platforms better than me and you and everyone,
Absolutely.
because they have been raised, or let me say, with the evolution of these technologies. So we speak about something, they live with it, they breathe it. So some colleges, yes, they started because they can see the passion of the students students. And I feel so much,
Yeah.
happy and proud that, we can witness the evolution when it comes to technology embedded in the curricula of the, let me say, Middle East programs. Alhamdulillah.
Absolutely. We're witnessing it. And for the first time, it's like eh, people that are making these curriculums are starting to understand that, listen, it's not just about what we as older people or as adults or, want to see the next generation do. We're seeing that they're passionate about this. Last week I was with my nephew, and he's 8 years old. And we were looking at one of our digital twin applications, and and as I'm showing it to him, he's so young, and yet he's like, that's some good frame rates or latency. These words, we
Wow.
learned them recently within the last few years. These kids are using it at such a young age. I was shocked because of the gaming world.
Exactly. And, similar story happened to me, last week. There was like one slang word, and I said, "Oh my goodness, what is that?" And I was searching for the dictionary and said, "How do you use these words?" It's like the new words for the new generations, and they said we use it a lot in the TikTok.
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh my goodness," and I thought that there was like a spelling mistake with the word and so on. The way that they're even speaking is totally now different.
Yep.
So it's a little bit scary that we have to now accommodate ourselves
We
to the
do.
new generations
Yep.
because they are ready. We are not we are the one who are, let me say, far away and behind.
Yes.
So that's why
We can't hold them back.
exactly. So whenever I hear about a new technology, I go and learn about it quickly because I know the kids, they know how to use it. And one day somebody asked me, and they say, "How come that you know about everything?" I say, "I feel threatened because of the kids. I have to learn about what's really happening around us. I have to learn why because all, and this is remind me about one of my friends, because as soon as, for example, we started talking about the generative AI applications, and our life, to be honest with you, it becomes, easier because I used to wait the inspiration to write a proposal and so on. Now it's becoming very easy. So I was telling one of my friends that she use it. One day she came to me and she said, "Layla, I just remember you." I say, "Why?" She said, "Because my kid came to me and he was telling me, 'Mama, I need to use ChatGPT,' and she was shocked. 'Mama, I'm going to use it ethically.'" Imagine a kid using this word ethically.
Oof.
She was shocked. He said, "I couldn't catch my math teacher today at school, and I need to understand this exercise. So I'm going to ask from ChatGPT to explain it for me and to give me some resources." And people are still, till today, say, generative AI is going to
Yeah.
destroy our kids and so on. No.
It's
Yeah,
here.
it pissed me off, when they use that one and said, we
Yeah.
have just, to improve our curricula. You can ask from them today to create projects, not assignments, because the kids are very smart.
Yeah.
So we have to just, improve our
Yeah,
performance
like you
to
said, we
know
just
how
have
to
to
deal
open our
exactly.
minds because they're gonna do it whether we like it or not, and
Exactly, yeah, it's
and it
there.
will shape the world. And we have to look at just like these young people are saying, we have to look at the positive, ethical way that we can use this in
Yeah,
order to enhance
yes.
human life. I completely agree with you, Leila. And now, when it comes to especially like smart cities and digital twins in the country of Oman. As you know, we're doing a lot of work in the Middle East. There's huge opportunities in Oman beyond even digital twin
Mhm.
space. What are you, Laila Al Hadrami, as an influencer in the space? What are you most excited about Oman, especially? What is the future of Oman?
For me, when it comes to digital twins, for example, I always think about why we need it, and I think mostly about the people. Because as you know, that I'm very much passionate about smart cities because I love to improve the quality of life for people. And always telling everyone it's all about the people. So when it comes to digital twins, I am as a citizen, I have the right to know the weather outside because it's all about my health. So I'm telling everyone we are paying taxes, and it's the right for every citizen around the world. And this is the most critical element that, let me say, threatening the health of all the citizens around the world. If we are paying taxes, it's a must. It's not like a luxury. Unfortunately, people are still considering digital twin as a luxury. It's a must because I need the right to go to the digital twin, which is, for example, I'm now in Muscat. So I need to open, for example, a digital twin for Muscat. So I can know, for example, if I need to move from A to B, I need to check the traffic, the air pollution, and then I can leave my house. This is very important because how many times we just leave our houses, then we found there's a traffic, there's pollution, and we are stuck. And now, because in the Middle East it's too hot. It's
Yeah,
too hot,
very hot.
too humidity. Yesterday, for example, I was, going outside the house. It was 6 p.m. I couldn't even breathe because, the humidity was very, very high.
Really? Oh my God.
Although I'm not suffering from any illness and so
Mm.
on, but some people,
Some people
it
are.
might affect their health. So we have to know at least, about the humidity, the dust in the Gulf countries, because we have a lot of, let me say, deserts, and we have a lot of dust. So at least when it comes to the dust, we have to know about these, let me say, the air quality to be monitored, and so we can assess our life.
Absolutely.
Should we go now outside or should we stay inside? That's why we need it. And the good about Oman, alhamdulillah, they are giving, let me say, a big attention to digital twins. Recently, Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning, they even published a tender regarding digital twin strategy for Oman.
Hmm.
And I was so much happy that, it's no more about leisure because, in the past, when we talk about the technology, they consider the people who are speaking with technology as something leisure. But today, technology is becoming a must to improve the quality of life for us. So this
Yeah.
is how I can see, at least, for me, improving our health and also providing equal life when it comes to the education. These are the two main elements that I think is like a must, and we need it to be built through the digital twins.
You're 100% right. And also it's about efficiency, because one thing we noticed, so as we're building these digital twins and smart city applications in the Middle East, we're starting to notice some of the technology providers, like solar panels, for example. We're bringing in data into our dashboard from like the air quality, energy, traffic, all of that data into one dashboard. But we're starting to see, because of the dust and the sand issue, the solar panels are not generating the amount of electricity that,
Yes,
for
yes.
example, they would if you put that same solar panel in California. So yield is becoming more important, especially for energy efficiency. And I think in order to understand, the quality of our resources and how we can better use them. So if a home is run on fully renewable energy, you have to know where to take energy from it for how long, and then plug into a different source of energy at a different time. So this is something that the whole world is starting to think about. And we as individuals, as consumers, are the ones that have the ability to drive this shift, drive this change. So I think finally government's starting to see that.
Yes.
They realize that we have to allocate our dollars and our cents more ethically and more logically when it comes to creating efficiencies. So I think the entire world is going towards that direction, and it makes me that Leila, you're leading the charge, especially in Oman, for these kind of initiatives. And what I want to really leave the audience with is an understanding of what would you like to see within the next 5 to 10 years on a global scale, not just in terms of digital twins, the metaverse of smart cities, but the adoption of technology.
Well, I have a dream, as I said, Riza, that I wish we can have the technology enabling everyone to have their rights. Mostly, as I said, in education, they are able to get, let me say, a job. Will be, let me say, a good opportunity to enable everyone around the world to get their income through it and also their education. So this is what I'm really hoping how we can. And it's becoming like responsibility for me and you, Riza, so we can transfer the knowledge for everyone. Because if you are empowering one, that one will
Leading the charge, especially in Oman, for these kind of initiatives. And what I want to really leave the audience with is an understanding of what would you like to see within the next 5 to 10 years on a global scale, not just in terms of digital twins, the metaverse of smart cities, but the adoption of technology?
Well, I have a dream, as I said, Riza, that I wish we can have the technology enabling everyone to have their rights. Mostly, as I said, in education, they are able to get, let me say, a job. Will be, let me say, a good opportunity to enable everyone around the world to get their income through it and also their education. So this is what I'm really hoping how we can. And it's becoming like responsibility for me and you, Riza. So we
That Leila, you're leading the charge, especially in Oman, for these kind of initiatives. And what I want to really leave the audience with is an understanding of what would you like to see within the next 5 to 10 years on a global scale, not just in terms of digital twins, the metaverse of smart cities, but the adoption of technology.
well, I have a dream, as I said, Riza, that I wish we can have the technology enabling everyone to have their rights. Mostly, as I said, in education, they are able to get, let me say, a job. Will be, let me say, a good opportunity to enable everyone around the world to get their income through it and also their education. So this is what I'm really hoping how we can. And it's becoming like responsibility for me and you, Riza, so we can transfer the knowledge for everyone. Because if you are empowering one, that one will empower the other, let me say, people around him. That's how we're gonna create a world with everyone empowered so they can have like equal life, inshallah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. And unfortunately, I think we're out of time. But Leila, Smart Cities influencer from Oman, I want to thank you so much for joining us and keep up the amazing work that you're doing, not just in the region, but in the entire world. And I'm happy that this was an opportunity for a lot of people in the West to learn more about the amazing work that's going on all the way in the Middle East, which is getting closer and closer because
Yes.
digital twins and smart cities are for the entire world.
Alhamdulillah, inshallah, next time gonna see you in Oman, Reza, so you can
Yeah,
see Oman and Oman how to be becoming, let me say, because we have some beautiful stories to share with you. And it's better next time to take you through these cities so you can see the evolution of Omani cities
absolutely.
when it's come to the sustainability and smart cities, inshallah.
We are so excited, Leila, because yeah, that was the goal, getting MetaWorldX to Oman. And thanks to all of the information and the hard work you've done, we feel like the time's coming. So we want to say thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it, and can't wait to talk to you soon.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Reza, and hope to see you soon, inshallah.
Anyone that wants to get in touch with Leila, her information is going to be on this webinar. And I highly urge you, especially girls that are thinking about getting into this space like cybersecurity, smart cities, metaverse, reach out to her. She's doing some amazing work, and you'll see her on the global circuit, speaking circuit. And she's somebody that I look up to, that I learned from, and we can't wait to have her here in Canada and the United States as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Leila. Ciao.
Masalama. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Ciao.